my Week 2 NFL Rundown. I'm your host. Guess it's me, because I don't have anybody else here. Week 2 was a great fun week of entertainment, of excitement, of upsets, of everything but the Titans winning. Well, and the Panthers, but that's okay. We're starting off Bills and Dolphins. Everyone knows the main talking point of the game was Tua Tagovailoa getting hurt in the third quarter. Before that, though, the Buffalo Bills pretty much dominated the game from start to finish. Tua did turn the ball over 3 different times. Tua turned the ball over, returned, and yeah, Buffalo walks away 31-10, only team in their division with a 2-0 record right now, so they're really rolling on real good. Miami, they're going to be okay, hopefully. I know they're going to have some quarterback problems for a few weeks. Happens. Continuing on with the AFC East, because I feel like that's a good continuation. We're going over to the New England Patriots, who were at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Did end up losing that game in overtime, unfortunately. Patriots defense, we know it's going to be good. Seahawks are looking really solid right now. I think Patriots are just doing it the right way, right? They're giving Drake May time to get ready, and they're not throwing him out there too early, as you could see from, say, Carolina, Denver, I would say even Chicago. Maybe throwing those guys out a little bit too early when they need a little bit more seasoning would be a lot helpful. And the Patriots are doing it the right way, and they're playing pretty decent football. I think they're pretty happy with where they're at. Seattle's 2-0 right now in a division that is looking a little funky, right? I don't think anybody expected them to be where they are, but they're doing it. They're getting it done. Last team, AFC East. Unfortunately, we get to talk about it with the Tennessee Titans losing to the New York Jets at home. Aaron Rodgers, he looked okay at times. He was getting some really good drives, getting them down the field. Really, the main story point there is Will Levis again, as you saw from my little fumble right there. And he also threw a pick back in the double coverage. That's just kind of what he does, apparently. I don't understand it either. Either way, Titans start off 0-2. Jets get that win that they really need to get going. Honestly, that could be a really good point for them. They could finally start getting that offense going somewhere. We know the defense should be somewhat okay. They're looking okay right now. 1-1 in a division full of teams that are 1-1 except for Buffalo, who is 2-0. This could be a fun division to look forward to. Flipping on the NFC side of the East, we're going to talk about the New York Football Giants taking on the Washington Commanders. The Commanders ended up getting that dub by kicking field goals. They did not score a single touchdown. New York Giants, I almost called them the Jets. They're a little bit worse than the Jets. They did not score a single touchdown. Or wait, no, that's all they did. They scored touchdowns and 1 field goal. But guess what? They missed an extra point. Failed on a 2-point conversion. That ended up making them lose the game. They started off 0-2 in a division full of 2 teams that we expected to be that race. Commanders 1-1. Jaden Daniels looked like the best rookie out there. That's a good start for them. But hopefully the Giants can get it together, because I don't want to see Daniel Jones fail that badly. Would it be funny? Kinda, after paying him $40 million. But hopefully they get things under control over there. Dallas Cowboys, they took on the New Orleans Saints. The Saints came marching in and scored 43 points on them. Maybe even more. I forget already. Rashid Shaheed busted open a 70-yard touchdown. Alvin Kamara ran for 4 more. Dallas's defense looked really pedestrian, really bad. Kind of like what Cleveland's did week 1 against them. But overall, Dak Prescott, he did throw 2 interceptions. I know that's going to be a talking point, but really one of them was a receiver slipping. The other one, they were already down. You just try to get that ball moving through the air. Fortunately, that's just kind of how it goes. Saints are 2-0, and their division's looking really good right now. We'll get to that eventually, because Eagles played Monday night. We're going to wait for them. AFC North, we got the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Kansas City Chiefs. This game was really good. It was very fun offensively. We kind of expected that, though. Unfortunately, it comes down to that call at the very end, which sucked, but I think the biggest talking point of that is it just happens so much for the Chiefs that somehow they get bailed out on those calls almost all the time. And I think that's why the annoyance is really there. Overall, though, it was a fun game. Crap just happens there. Chiefs are 2-0. We know they're going to be a good team. Bengals are 0-2, but they showed signs of life. Defense is finally getting there a little bit. Cam Taylor-Britt probably had the interception of the century with that one-handed grab looking like Odell. Yeah. there's nothing really to write home about just yet for them. I think things are going to be just fine. Cincinnati Bengals, we're going to switch over to one of their rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, as they took on the Denver Broncos in Denver. And they ended up beating them. I believe the score was 13-6. Bo Nix, unfortunately, did not look phenomenal. But the Steelers defense, we know it's going to be good. Justin Fields scored one touchdown to Darnell Washington. That's the only touchdown they've scored in 2 weeks. But yet they're still 2-0. We know what they're going to be. They're going to be a strong defensive team. Offensively, they're going to kind of putter out here and there. But what do they care, right? They're starting off 2-0. Broncos starting off 0-2. We kind of expected the Broncos to be a little But again, it's a week 2 game. We're kind of still feeling who these teams are real quick. And that's why it's important to go over to the Baltimore Ravens, who also started off 0-2 by losing to the Las Vegas Raiders this week. The biggest thing I could say for the Ravens is I have noticed one big thing, and that they do not run Derrick Henry in the fourth quarter. As a Titans fan, I can tell you well aware of what Derrick Henry can do. In the fourth quarter, that's what he does. He shoves people out of the way, he rushes that defense down, and he gets that ball in the end zone. Maybe they'll figure out a way to get him more involved in the offense, but overall, they ended up losing to a really good defense over there in Las Vegas. Gardner Minshew looked okay. I know the offense is still kind of balancing itself out. They'll get there, but hey, they got to win, so you're going to take that win while you're learning and just kind of keep going with it. The last team in the AFC North that we had to talk about, unfortunately, Cleveland Browns. They took on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Jacksonville lost that game 18-13. It was 16-13, but play of the game happened for Cleveland. They punted the ball and it landed at the 1 yard line, meaning they were going to have to drive 99 yards. They ended up taking a safety, so then Cleveland was up 18-13, and then they had to drive the ball down the field and they just couldn't do it. That's what led to Cleveland winning. If that punt doesn't happen, Jacksonville might tie it up with a field goal. So hey, shout out to the Browns. They're 1-1. We know who they are, right? Their offense is a little stagnant. Their defense is overpowering. So if their defense gets the job done, they're going to be just fine. If not, they're not going to be a really good, highly offensive team. Continuing on, let's go to the NFC North, right? San Francisco 49ers took on the Minnesota Vikings and Jay Jettas, who went for over 100 in the first half. He did his thing. There's going to be another receiver we talk about later, did the same thing. But both teams are actually a little banged up. Jordan Addison for the Vikings is banged up. Now, Justin Jefferson got hurt. His quad is injured. He says he'll play on Sunday. I'm not the doctor. I'm not going to deny it. But McCaffrey's also out for San Francisco. Deebo Samuel got hurt over there for San Francisco. Fortunately, these two teams are just kind of battling out for hospital beds at this point. San Francisco, we expect them to be all right, but with them banged up, hey, who knows? Maybe the teams over there that we're going to talk about later could take it over. Minnesota, they're 2-0 in a division full of 1-1s, because we'll talk about Chicago later, because they were Sunday night game. Minnesota's pretty happy to where they're at with Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones. They got talent all over the place. It's just getting the ball in the end zone and the defense playing well, and that team could be a real threat. Keeping up with the NFC North, I feel like we need to talk about one of the big games this week. Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Detroit Lions. Buccaneers got the job done with your boy Baker Mayfield. He was getting Godwin the passes that he needed to. That really helped them very much. Mike Evans obviously played a half-decent game, but really he was just a decoy to make people kind of guard him, double cover him. Lions, they were chucking the ball down the field. There were some issues that they had where they should have kicked a field goal at the end of the first half. They didn't. If they did, that probably leads to them winning this game. But Goff also threw some passes that were really ill-advised and really shouldn't have been thrown. So, either way, I think the Lions are going to be just fine, but Tampa Bay and their division's looking kind of stacked right now, except for one team. Detroit on the flip hand, we know they're going to be good. We know they're going to be all right. It's just kind of getting things over with over there. The last game in the NFC North we can talk about for now, Indianapolis Colts. They took on the Green Bay Packers. Malik Willis got his second career win as a starter. He threw a touchdown. They ran the ball really, really well. I think Colts defensive coordinator is probably kind of confused because apparently he didn't realize they were going to be running the ball the whole time, and that's exactly what they did to them. Yeah, Packers just dominated this game at the point of attack where they needed to dominate it at. Got that dub. They're 1-1. Again, we've already talked about the NFC North and what the standings are looking like so far. It's week 2. I think it's a little bit too early to talk about that, but hey, it's a good point to mention it. Because, again, you only get 6 matchups in your division. So, hey, any advantage that you can get over them, you'll take it. I think we're pretty good in the NFC North, so we're going to go over to the AFC South. Actually, no, we're not. We already finished up over there, so the last game in the NFC South would be the Los Angeles Chargers and the Carolina Panthers. Okay, Chargers dominated this game. We already knew that because we've already heard Bryce Young's going to be benched for Andy Dalton for this week. I know they do play the Raiders. Hopefully that works out for them. I think that this is the best thing for Bryce Young right now, is to get him some time away from the game. And it's not that, oh, we don't think you can play or anything like that. It's just that we can tell you're not ready. And the Chargers were able to jam the ball down the field. Justin Herbert did his thing. They ended up getting the win, right? A dominant win. Because the Panthers just couldn't do anything on offense. Defensively, I think things got a little bit better. They're having a lot of struggles right now, but I don't think this is completely over if you're Carolina. Right now, Chargers are looking good, though. 2-0, playing the Steelers this week. They're in a division with the Broncos, who still are trying to get things going offensively. LV, who's trying to get things going offensively. And Kansas City, who we know are going to be really, really, really good. Last game we got to talk about before the primetime matchups. The Rams took on the Cardinals. Shout out Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray went crazy this week. Marvin Harrison Jr. went crazy this week. Rams are looking like a retirement home right now because Aaron Donald just retired. And now Cooper Kupp's injured. Puka Nakua's injured. Old man Stafford's getting there. Things aren't looking great over there. We kind of knew defensively things were going to have to change around over there because, again, Aaron Donald retired on them. They didn't really have anybody spectacular. They had guys getting better. But, unfortunately, the defense just isn't quite there just yet. So, losing to the Cardinals like that is really rough. Kyler Murray just decided that he was going to take over. It's about time we see Kyler do his thing. I'm super happy to see that for him, especially with all the hate that man's gotten, especially because Call of Duty season's right around the corner. And now let's talk about the primetime matchups. Caleb Williams, number 1 overall pick, took on number 2 overall pick from last year. CJ Stroud as the Bears took on the Texans. This game was very boring, was not fast-paced, was a defensive war. It just that's exactly what I expected it to be is the problem. Texans got in the backfield, destroyed Caleb Williams over and over and over, made him throw really bad passes, and CJ Stroud was able to get a couple touchdowns in the end zone, which really helped his team get it done. The Bears still played really solid defense. Texans played really solid defense. Either way, it just kind of happened that way with Houston getting the victory, starting off the season 2-0. Really good start for them. And the last game, I feel like I got to talk about the man Kirk Cochains, all right? Kirk Cochains came back to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't remember the time, but they won 22-21. Philadelphia Eagles decided to run a pass play when they already had the game pretty much won. Saquon Barkley drops the ball. They have to kick a field goal. Kirk Cousins says, "Let me show you how it's done in prime time." Beam to Drake London. Gets the win. 22-21. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons. I think that's going to be it for me for now. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch. I am very funny. Alright? Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.